This is video number 5 in our back to basics sequence for those from 3rd to 1st Q, so that's brown up to black belt. Mostly cover what's in the KGB syllabus up to Dan grade, but trying to emphasize again a lot of movement in the body, hip twist, and in this video most of what we'll demonstrate is from this position, freestyle position, as opposed to Gidambarai. You'll still notice that I'm in this kind of half hanmai turned position as we start a lot of our techniques. I think first and foremost, go back, simple techniques to start, how to deliver some punches, namely Kazamazuki front hand punch and Yakazuki reverse punch. So from here, just sideways on, it's probably easier for you to notice. Probably always start from here, Kyo, step forward, Gidambarai, and then into the freestyle position. And from here, focus on Yakazuki reverse punch, okay, which is done with Tachudan by and large to start with, okay. But from here, twisting and augmenting the body in at the same time and returning the opposite hand to Hikite. I'll show you it straight on in a second. So to break this down, usually what we do, start here, is to thrust the punch in and stop. Solid foundations, no heel, lift at the back, good Hikite, and now into this showman square arm position. Returning back to the half hanmai position. Back legs slightly flexed. From there, drive in again and back. Okay, so from there, usually don't make sure you've kept your shoulders down. Sensei Sherry would often come around and bash you on the end of the hand to see if you wobble. Okay, make sure you've got these good solid foundations. So again, it's in on one and back on two. Okay, again in on one, back on two. Okay, always make sure you work on both sides. So again, in on one and back on two. You notice from here back to this half hanmai. So again, no shoulder lift, no extra movement here, no movement to the foot, strong stance and back. Okay? So after a while, when you've developed this strong position, shoulders down, lats tightened, good Hikite, we can then start snapping the punch. Be careful at this point not to start doing this with Hikite or this circular motion. That comes in on the next punch and probably as much if not more so. But make sure from there, snapping the punch back, slowly in, start and then build. A bit faster and stronger. And back. Okay. Usually, if I was in senior class and I say change moat, okay, from there, you jump on the spot. Okay. But obviously, if you're upstairs in your bedroom, you don't want the light fittings shaking downstairs and disturbing the rest of the household. Okay, so from there again, snapping the punch in. It's as much to do snapping the body there and back. Okay, Yakazuki to chew down there and back. Change sides. I'm slightly on an angle, so you can probably see the dynamic of it a little bit more. Second punch, Kazamazuki. And again, starting in this hanmai position, but pushing the hip and this side of the body and the chest in, keeping the head straight, pulling the other hand back to Hikite. So again, be careful of the Hikite either bouncing off the body or slapping yourself. Imagine from there, MP, elbowing someone behind you at the same time. So from there, in and back, and back, and back. And again, just to demonstrate, make sure you do everything both sides. Okay, Kazamazuki again. So, yeah, you've got this big elastic band in your hand. Stretch it, and back, and back. Okay, and from there, then snapping the punch. Try not to lose the form. Yeah, so you end up lifting the shoulders or making hikite up here. Yes, if we were doing jikumite, might even block here. Okay, when we do the Yakazuki, we can move on to that more senior class. Okay, but to start with, basic technique. So snapping the Kazamazuki here, there and back, there and back, and again, there and back. Forgetting both sides. Okay, so again, there and back, there and back. Okay? So that's one technique at a time, either Kazamazuki front hand punch, Yakazuki reverse punch. We come back to freestyle stance, turn sideways on, so you can see, put both of those together, Kazamazuki, Yakazuki. So it's hikite, jodanzuki, hikite, chudanzuki, and back. And again, to break the exercise down, it's often performed stop, then back. Make sure you focus, focus, and back. So again, stop and back, stop and back, stop and back. And then snapping the technique. So again, and back. Long, long, and back. Feel the body movement, pushing the hip in, the chest in, squaring the body up and return. So it gets push, push, back. Feel this movement without the knee collapsing. Okay, so again, Kazamazuki, Yakazuki, and back. And gradually build the technique. 1, 2, nice and fast. And back. Okay? So it's Kazamazuki and Yakazuki, Kazami Gyak. Often that would be the first combination we do in our down grades. Don't seem to do it so much now. Okay, but must do that before we progress. Next, punching combination from here. Again, show you sideways on. We did this at a lower grade from here, but we start doing Yakazuki. This is going to be Kazamazuki, Oizuki, Yakazuki, but from freestyle. Okay? And again, try not to move the back foot, as I mentioned in the previous video. So from here, Kazamazuki, down grades, you might be asked to push the foot in. We'll deal with that in video number 6. Okay? So from there, Kazamazuki, keep the body form, keep the body pulled back, keep this hand-my position. Stepping, keeping this under tension, launch the Oizuki, and then the Yakazuki. Okay, so if I go back, it's Kazamazuki, then step Oizuki, Yakazuki, snapping it back to freestyle. Okay. Could break this down in class. Stop, step halfway, keeping the form, 2/3, 3/4 of the way, still good form. Then launch the body in, rotate, stop, rotate back, stop, and then back to Jirodach. Okay, so we can see this 45 degrees punch, straight to Jodan. Okay, step in, rotate the body and back. Kazamazuki, Oizuki, Yakazuki. And then with a little bit more speed and power, so I think, and stop. Shuffle back. If you've not got much room, you're in your bedroom or wherever you might be creative. And then in. So in this instance, if you're particularly constrained or you've got no room, okay, punch. Then back and forward. Okay, so again, okay, back and forward. But don't cheat, don't just come halfway back. Make sure all the way back and all the way in. Probably noticed I didn't quite get there. That wouldn't give me enough room if I was up against an opponent who was here. I could have punched, stepped back and blocked, and strike in. Okay? If I've not gone all the way back, I'm not going to make the distance. Okay? So, first 10 minutes and all we've done is punches. This is like going back to the first video. One technique at a time, second video. For those novice and beginners. It almost feels like starting again when you get to this grade, sometimes. But remember those core principles of turning the hips, strong stance, powerful techniques, determination, okay? Keep those things in mind, okay? And it does make it slightly easier, okay? Or should I say less difficult? It's never easy, is it? Okay, so step 4, Gidan Barai, this time into freestyle, Maegeri Renzuki. So Maegeri double punch. Okay, so from there, half hand my position, do not move the arms when you kick. Land and punch to Jodan, rotating the body, rotate the body back to freestyle. Okay, so turn sideways on, and swap sides, not got much room. Okay, so kick, haven't moved the arms, land and punch to Jodan, and then back into Chudan. Okay. Now through the angle, so you can see from there, the quicker, 1, 2, 3, and back. Step back, okay? If you've got that luxury of that space, okay? And in, okay? Opposite diagonal, so make sure you've done both sides. You might not have this room, okay? I'm lucky I'm not all in that position, okay? And make sure with Maegeri, you're pushing through the ball of the foot, through Koshi, okay? Through the ball of the foot, then land long and back. Okay, so Maegeri double punch. Without the space, okay, you may wish to come back and forward. Back, kick, and forward. Maegeri double punch. Move forward rather briskly onto Yokogeri, Uraken and Yakuzuki. Uraken, oh, shall we pause a second? Uraken, stand here deliberately. What I sometimes see with Uraken, good high elbow, palm facing the head, and Uraken across here. Okay, it's okay if I was taking someone's head off, but I'm not, and I might miss. Okay, so make sure Uraken is into the technique, into the stance, into the target, and then back to Yakazuki. So a nice exercise to practice before we introduce the kick, okay, is Uraken and Yakuzuki. Imagine the first move in Kihon kata. Don't do Gidan Barai and Yakuzuki, do Uraken and Yakuzuki. And from there, even turning, okay, practice doing what? Again, not straight past the target, but think in to my opponent, okay? From there, turning my back, but from there, into my opponent, not past. The elbow controls where the hand goes. In here. If you let the elbow go, you're off on a non-starter, okay? You'll miss your opponent. So from there, thinking of that, conscious of that, adding the two things together. Yokogeri, knee up close, extend, strike Uraken as you land, and punch Yakuzuki. Okay? Shuffle back if you've not got much room. Often see this at brown belts, almost kicking the wall at the end of the dojo. Shuffle back or change the stance. So Yokogeri, out, land Uraken, and punch Yakuzuki. Okay, for those with not much room, okay. Back, up, thrust, Uraken and Yakuzuki. And the kick doesn't have to be to Jodan. Chudan, straight through the midriff. Okay, so think up, and in. Okay, really lift that knee up, strong and close, and drive the hips out, land, strike and punch. Yokogeri Uraken Yakuzuki. Okay, so again, not opening the guard, keep the guard closed, strike, Uraken and Yakuzuki. Yokogeri Uraken Yakuzuki. We touched on this kick on the last video, Mawashigeri, roundhouse kick. And I talked about the dog up against a tree and the knee and the ankle being the same height. Okay. Again, harder position, breathing a bit heavily now, good. Okay, a bit of exercise, do us all the world of good. Okay. Make sure you bring the hands through, close the guard. Look at the standing foot when the knee's pointing forward. Snap land Uraken, keeping the body open, and square up with Yakazuki. So Mawashigeri, Uraken, Yakazuki. Again, some of us are lucky we can go to Jodan. Go to Chudan. Gedan if need be, okay? If the need calls for it, okay? But yeah, try for Jodan, work on that flexibility. I've warmed up for 20 minutes before this video, as we all should, and I should have stressed that in all the videos, but kind of take these things as read, okay? So Mawashigeri, hands, good gamai, good posture, through, snap, Uraken and Yakuzuki. So from here, imagine you've got not much room, pull it back, and in. Okay? Not much room, pull it back, and in. Okay? And aim for not just height, but distance. Don't just kick Mawashigeri in here. Extend through the hip, kick here. Okay? Again, hip movement. Push that in. Mawashigeri, Uraken, Yakuzuki. New kick, and shall we practice the kick just on its own to start? Oshiro. Oshiro is not spin, it's a back kick, it's a thrust, like Yokogeri, Kakomi. Okay? Starting this in my position. And I've never tell anyone to cheat. Okay? But if you're standing really, really wide in a stance, you're going to make this really difficult. If you go too narrow, you're in danger of getting swept on that front leg. Okay? But possibly narrow a little bit just to help yourself to start with. Okay? Don't move this foot, and don't, oh, I'm going to do this, lead with your bottom. Perfect world, we start here. Okay? Our opponent sees nothing other than this. And through into Yokogeri. Okay? So I was just told and shown a number of ways to do this. Bit of a kind of a cheats way really. Start here, get your head round, lift the foot, thrust into the target, land Uraken and Yakuzuki. Kind of breaks it down a lot, but the temptation is then that you never ever lift the knee early enough. You should lift the knee straight away, not here, then up. Because then when you start to do it fast, you'll end up just kicking up to the sky. Okay? Hip control, very important. We've got to think of thrusting our hips into our opponent here. We're not spinning the hip, or we'll end up spinning around. Okay? So this is thrusting the hips, controlling the hips into our opponent. Maintaining good gamai. Don't let the arms flail out. You're not a helicopter. Okay? So from here, knee up, thrust in, land Uraken and Yakuzuki. And I often find, again, the arm position's difficult. Try and practice doing other blocks as you land. Okay? So have I got good gamai, good enough gamai? Kick, land, Yambara and Yakuzuki. Okay? So again, practice off both legs. Okay? Thrusting in, thrust, and possibly Gidambara. Obviously in gradings and syllabus it's Uraken, but you know, this I have seen, and again, don't be conscious of this. Don't start up here, almost ready to do your Uraken before you finish kicking. Okay? So, elbows in to this position, then round and in. Oshirigeri, Uraken, Yakuzuki. Okay? Some things we can't do with a limited space, the Rengeri combination, where we kick and Maegeri, kick Yoko, and we need a bit of space. Yes, we could adapt, Maegeri come back, Yokogeri in, but more of that in a second. One thing that I think a lot of people struggle with at this grade is kicking off one leg, as our syllabus demands when you take Shodan, when you take your black belt. Important that you get everything correct in terms of weight distribution, balance, and head and hands. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by head and hands. Okay, so from there again, you've done all of your basics and your grading. You're told to stand forward, Gidambarai, and make freestyle. Then do 3 kicks off one leg. Okay, at this grade. First kick, Maegeri. I've not moved my arms, I've not moved my head. The second kick, is to turn your head and your hands as you kick, kokomi. Okay? And then the third one behind, oshirigiri, and back. And each one of those kicks, every time you kick, the kicking foot or the heel should come back to the standing knee. So from there to this position, not dropped. If you drop it, you've got to pick it up again. Pick it up once. We used to look and then kick, but now kick and look at the same time and back to the front. Then behind, oshiro, and back. And again, the temptation, I did a little bit of that there, is to go kick and drop the foot. Make sure, kick, back, and then down. Okay, so that's 3 kicks off one leg. I said swapping sides. Not that I'm any good on either side, but okay. Maigeri, yokogeri, kokomi, and a shirigeri, and back. Practice it slow. It requires a lot more muscle control. Okay. Yes, when we start to go fast, we can throw the hips in and we lose our balance. And you see people hopping around the room. If you do lose your balance, regain it before you try to do the next kick. So I've quite often seen people kick and just throw the last kick out. Okay, get your balance, get the weight down through this knee, kick and stop. Kick, stop. Back here. So the upper body is not wobbling. Thrust straight behind. And again with the shirigiri, try and make sure you're not rotating the hips. So the hips stay here. It's merely thrusting from the glutes straight back. Okay, so it's kicks off one leg, maigeri, yokogeri, and a shirigiri. Okay, so just recap again. Balance, good gamai, head forward, focused on the target. Kick and back. So I look and then back. Head round the corner. Balance first, thrusting straight behind, knee up, step back and down. Okay. One other element that we have to do is our long combination. It's short of space, so how are we going to do this? We can always adapt. And as we get higher up through our karate experience in our life, you know, I've got friends who've trained well into their 80s. You know, this is for life, not just for gradings, not just until you get a different coloured piece of cloth around your waist. Okay, so practice this. This is great balance and coordination. The amount of old people fall over and break their hips when, you know, we don't do that as karateka because we've got good balance. Other martial artists the same, hopefully. Okay, from there, so long combination. Start and finish in jiridachi, freestyle. The first technique is maigeri double punch. Kick, and everything in the middle is basic, so we stop. Step back from here, gidamburai and Yakazuki. Now I'm going to make space. Okay, it should be yokogeri. It is, but here, yokogeri, uraken, landing, opening the chest. And then step oizuki and finish. Okay, so it's maigeri double punch. Forward. Step back, gidamburai, Yakazuki. Then yokogeri, uraken, oizuki. So, maigeri double punch or chudo. Step back, gidamburai, Yakazuki. Haven't got space. Yokogeri, uraken, back and forward, oizuki jodo. So learn to work with the space you've got and learn to do everything both sides. So again, maigeri double punch. Back, gidamburai, Yakazuki. Okay, we'd go forward, but haven't got space. Back, yokogeri, uraken, and back and forward, oizuki jodo. Show your face on, hopefully not get too close to the camera. Okay, but from there, I could even do this. Back, forward, maigeri, double punch. Okay, from there, back, yokogeri, uraken, look at the body position. And then step back and forward, oizuki jodo. So with no room at all. Okay, back and forward, Maegari double punch, back and forward, Gidanbragi Yakazuki, or should that have been forward and back? Think about that one. Back, making freestyle, Yokageri, land Uraken, back and forward, Oizuki Jodan. The reason I questioned myself on the second technique, in all of the videos so far, when we've done attacking techniques, we've come back to prepare in an attack. When we've done defensive techniques, we go forward and then escape. So perhaps that's the way we should do it. At this grade, you should be able to do either. Okay? So I'll show you with that change. Okay? So, back and forward, Maegari double punch. Forward and back, Gidanbragi Yakazuki. Back, prepare, Yokageri, land Uraken. Then forward and back, Oizuki Jodan. Okay, so watch again. I'll change the legs. Because in the dojo, you'd repeat this combination 3 times, the same leg forward, then turn, and then repeat it with 3 times the other side. Doing it this way on the spot, you'll end up just doing one side if you're not conscious that when I finish, right, I now need to change. Okay, so starting with the other side. Back and forward, Maegari double punch. Forward and back, Gidanbragi Yakazuki. Back and forward, Yokageri Uraken. Back and forward, Oizuki Jodan. Refer to the syllabus. If anybody's got any questions, message me. Okay, some of you have got my number. Okay, please. It's about the same length of time as we took on video number 4. I'll endeavour to keep these below half an hour. Okay, so nice kind of distinct or discrete kind of slots. More to come in video 6, possibly even a video 7 and 8. Because karate's never ever ending, is it? Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for your time.